Last but not least is Kaye Howe who directs the National Science Digital Library.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope this talk is not too technical for all of you. Just try to keep up with me when it comes to the mathematical part. Okay. So we're talking today, I'm trying to put NSDL, the National Science Digital Library, in a larger context, that it is part of a long tradition, a part of the Western tradition and other traditions as well, a very important part. Here is a quotation from Aristotle that many of you will know: all men by nature desire to know. That desire to know is critical to our entire tradition, our belief that knowledge will be transformational. And that's been part of what NSF wanted to have happen with NSDL, to be transformational, because we believe this so deeply. If you have knowledge, if you have information, if you have facts, they will be so compelling that the world will be changed, no matter how often this doesn't work out. But it's a deep belief. If you know Borges and Ficciones, to me it does not seem unlikely that on some shelf of the universe there lies a total book. We're all trying to make the total book, the book that explains everything. This is the 18th century encyclopedia from France. In truth, the aim of encyclopedia is to collect all knowledge that lies scattered over the face of the earth, to make known its general structure, to transmit it. This was a work of 20 volumes, so that we may at the same time become more virtuous and more happy. Not only do we know everything and collect everything, part of this great encyclopedic tradition, but it will make us virtuous and it will make us happy. And in many ways, that's happened. When you think about the internet, the things, the digital world that we are all involved in, we have been delivered all the information there is on the planet in very easy and accessible forms. It has given us enormous power. When you just think back over the last 12 or 13 years, for example, of NSDL, where we started, and the power that is now, at this point you usually hold up your iPhone and say, this computer has the strength of 5,000 IBMs in 1910 or whatever. Well, we have escaped some incredible constraints, the constraints of time, the constraints of space, the constraints of age, the constraints of limited access, of isolation. In many ways, these things are gone. And yet, even though NSF assigned us the task of being transformational, and yet that hasn't happened yet. Science education has not been transformed. Education has not been transformed. The planet has not been transformed. Around 1960, I heard Gabriel Marcel, wonderful French existentialist, white hair, perfect, at St. Louis University, and he said, this is one of those things you remember forever, we thought it was a problem, but in fact this is a mystery, and this is what Oedipus Rex is all about. So Oedipus Rex comes to Corinth, the king has been killed, he solves a riddle, the great intellectual challenge. The riddle is what walks on 4 at the beginning, 2 in the middle, and 3 at the end. The answer is mankind. And he solves the riddle, then the play comes back again. He thinks he should be able to solve the riddle again. He goes to Tiresias, who is that version of big data, and Tiresias tells him it's all about you. It's all about you. You are the thing. He had the experience, but he missed the meaning. If you know Oedipus Rex, he did not understand what was going on in the world about him. He didn't understand the context. He was seeking knowledge, he was seeking information, but he should have sought something larger. So the big question comes down to, who are you, pilgrim, and where are you going? Because information and knowledge is not enough unless we put it in the context of human life and human experience. The quest is the great story of Western civilization, always looking, always seeking, always trying to understand, learning in the context of realities. That's the thing that we have to understand. And I wanted to close with this wonderful poem, appropriately in this institution, called The Poems of Our Climate by Wallace Stevens, because it turns out that we are not going towards perfection, and we have to understand the world in which we live, which is very imperfect. There would still remain the never-resting mind, so that one would want to escape, come back to what had been so long composed. The imperfect is our paradise. Note that in this bitterness, delight, since the imperfect is so hot in us, lies in flawed words and stubborn sounds. Thank you.